Ezreal.
Oh, Carrier's like, I'll show you how it's done. And I think we're seeing the debut of Ezreal support. It's actually happening.
Yeah, it is.
And because of this, we know we have to put out the support Ezreal video. I mean, come on! But why would you want to pick him as support? He's usually an ADC. Well, he provides great poke for your lane. Double ADC means a lot of damage for engages, and great scaling and poke in the late game as well. However, he does have some downsides. You actually have to land your abilities to deal any damage. You aren't going to be farming, so being behind is really bad. And generally, he is weaker earlier, but a little bit of that slack is picked up because you're a support and you have another ADC there. His Q is, you know, wait, I've done this before. I have two other guides on Ezreal. We've already done Ezreal before. We actually have two guides on him. So if you want to check out what those abilities do, check those videos out. Now, being a support Ezreal, your runes are going to change a bit. It seems like Fleet is going to be the rune of choice for healing in lane and some grid damage and kiting. Presence of Mind for more mana and regen in the lane and whenever you get kills. Alacrity for more attack speed, or Bloodline if you want to be a vampire. And honestly, any of the 4th tier work. Then we're going to go Magical Biscuits and Magical Boots because free money is good. Now for the items, we're gonna get our support item, but the build is going to look like Ezreal. So you're just gonna do, you know, normal ADC things. Horizon Focus was pick at pro level, but solo Q I'd probably just pick with the ADC items because pro level he was just trying to do his most with like 2 items because that's probably as much as he's going to get before the game ends. But I do want to talk a bit more about the support item. With the support item, you have 2 options. The primary option is going to be the Claw. This is your free Sheen item. You don't have to buy anything or nothing. But what I found is when you're playing this, you're gonna get your sheet item, but it usually takes about 15 minutes. And shooting out your Qs without that kind of feels bad. Ezreal is extremely reliant on his Sheen to force through most of his damage. You do well in lane, but you don't do as well as you usually do. So if you want to do a bit more in the early game, you can forgo the free Sheen and just buy a normal one. And then that opens up for your support item to be something like Zac Stacks because you're basically ability focused, and it deals percent health damage, so it's going to be good. Or Celestial, if the enemy has a lot of assassins, it can help in keeping you alive in those types of situations. So just something to think about. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe. If you're liking the video, give it a thumbs up so other people can see it too, and comment down below with anything that I missed. And that's really it. We did it! We're in the game, and we're going to take this map because we're an Explorer and these mixed drinks for Explorer things. Now in lane, we don't have to worry about farming, and we really just want to try and find the angles to land as many Qs as possible. And in lane, we have the ability to play really safe because we have our E. But you are going to be a little more forward than usual as Ezreal, because as Ezreal, when you're farming as an ADC, you can kind of sit back and farm with your Q, be as far away as possible. However, you don't have to farm, and if you do stay that distance away, you won't really have the opportunity to land your Qs. You really want to play as a poke support, and that means that you have to be up a little to get those angles. And that's what you are. You are a poke support. In lane, you just want to be annoying as possible. Throw out as many abilities as you can to deal as much damage as you can. Honestly, it's pretty uninteractive with your ADC's pick because you're just going to be doing what you do anyway. You don't protect them, you don't start the engages, well you can, but you don't really set up for engages, you just fight. You just try and push lanes, get plays, get towers. Now let's take a look at that mid game. Now in the mid game, you guessed it, we're going to be annoying as possible. You don't have to stay with the ADC because you're not necessarily going to really help them. We want to just try and poke the enemies as much as possible without getting caught. So keep your map warded and throw out those Qs, baby. You really just want to play like an Ezreal, but an Ezreal that doesn't really have to farm. You can, but you don't need to. You're going to be nothing but a general menace and deal as much damage as possible. In the team fights, just stick towards the back and throw out your Qs. That's really it. And that's it. We did it. We won the game. And if you enjoyed this, check out a support that actually does want to help your ADC. Talk to you later.